We've all been there, right? Facing some kind of unfair criticism or a totally baseless accusation. Well, today we're going to dig into an ancient story about a king who's hit rock bottom. And it has this incredibly powerful and really modern lesson on how to handle exactly those kinds of attacks.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. When someone comes at you with something that's just plain wrong, what's your gut reaction? That first knee-jerk instinct. Is it to fight back? To set the record straight? Just hang on to that thought as we get into this.
All right, so to really unpack this different way of responding, let's meet our main character, King David. And to get what's going on, we have to set the scene. Because this isn't just a bad day for the guy. His entire world is literally collapsing.
The crisis? It's a full-blown rebellion. And get this, it's being led by his own son, Absalom. Now this wasn't some sudden overnight coup. Nope, Absalom had been playing the long game for years, cleverly chipping away at his dad's authority, stirring up old political drama, and basically winning people over by saying, "Hey, I'll give you the justice my father won't."
And man, the betrayal is just coming from every single direction. His own son wants him dead. His most trusted advisor, the guy he went to for everything, has bailed and joined the other side. Even people he'd been incredibly kind to are now flipping on him. He is totally, utterly alone and on the run.
And just when you think, okay, surely it cannot get any worse than this, well, it does. An old enemy from David's past shows up right at this moment of absolute weakness, a man named Shimei.
So, who is this guy? Shimei was related to the old king, Saul. You know, the one David replaced. So for Shimei, David isn't a hero. He's a thief, a usurper who stole the throne. This guy is basically a walking, talking grudge holding onto years of bitterness.
And Shimei does not hold back. Picture this. David and the handful of people still loyal to him are escaping, and Shimei is just walking along a ridge above them, screaming this curse. And it's not just words, he's actually throwing stones and kicking dust down at them. It's designed to be as personal, as public, and as humiliating as possible.
Now here's what's so important to get. Shimei's entire accusation is built on a lie. He keeps calling David a man of blood because he's convinced David violently wiped out Saul's family to grab power. But, as the story makes clear, that's the exact opposite of what actually happened.
So imagine you're seeing your king, your leader, being publicly humiliated like this. One of David's top generals, a guy named Abishai, sees this all going down and he reacts. Well, exactly how most of us would. He sees an injustice and he wants to end it right now. And this right here, this is that first instinct we talked about, isn't it? The immediate urge to silence the critic, to show him who's boss. Abishai calls Shimei a dead dog and wants to deliver some swift justice. You know what? It's a completely understandable reaction.
But this is the plot twist. This is where the story takes this incredible turn and where the real lesson is. Because David, who absolutely has the power to end this humiliation in a second, makes a choice that is completely unexpected. It's totally counterintuitive.
And here it is, side by side. You see the two paths. On one side, you've got Abishai's impulse, immediate revenge. Let's fight the man throwing the stones. But on the other side, you have David's shocking response, an acceptance of the moment, a choice to look for a much deeper meaning.
So, why? Why would David react this way? Let me tell you, it was not weakness. Not even close. It was a really profound strategy. The source material actually calls it the spirituality of silence. So let's break down what that actually means.
Okay, so David's response was basically this conscious three-step mental process. First, he zoomed out. He saw a bigger picture. He basically says, maybe this is being allowed to happen for a reason, even if the guy yelling at me is totally wrong. Second, he looked inward. And this is huge. The false accusation about him being a man of blood actually reminded him of his real guilt, his terrible sin involving Bathsheba and her husband Uriah. And finally, he just trusted the process. He decided to humbly endure this unfair attack, hoping that maybe, just maybe, something good could come out of it later.
So do you see what he did? He completely reframed the whole situation. He decided this moment wasn't going to be about his ego versus his attacker. It was going to be about his own accountability. In the end, he wasn't fighting Shimei at all. He was confronting himself.
And that's the incredible paradox of this whole story. On the outside, David looks like the very definition of weak,
a defeated king, on the run, getting stones thrown at him by some nobody. But on the inside, in that moment of quiet endurance, that was actually David at his absolute most powerful.
Which, of course, brings it all back to us. In our world, when we face our own modern-day Shimais, and maybe that's an anonymous troll in the comments, or a coworker spreading rumors, or even just a fight with family, what is the truly powerful move? Is it the quick, satisfying clapback? Or is it the harder, quieter strength to just pause, look inward, and wonder if there might be a bigger picture at play?